All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Everybody will stand.
I'd just like us to take a moment of silence to remember the situation in Ukraine. It weighs heavy on all of our hearts, and I think it's just good to remember those. And then I'll share a quote after my prayer. Let us pray. That's not part of my prayer.
Sounds like an Amber.
Look at it, very quiet.
Almighty and gracious God, as we pause to remember the situation in Ukraine and around the world, we are heartbroken and very disturbed by the loss of life. So we ask you to intervene some way, somehow in that situation and other situations near and dear to our hearts, that you abide with us and be with us. Be with us as a council tonight as we seek to do your work. And do the work to help the people here in Forsyth and keep this a great place to live and enjoy. So Lord, be with us and watch over us. This we pray in your holy name. And all God's people said. Amen. For the pledge, Phyllis sends me a word for the day every day. And this is the one the other day. We cannot do the work of transforming the world unless we are in interdependent relationships. The work is too vast and complex for any one of us. Let's reach out towards each other, and that's part of my prayer.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first thing on the agenda is Julie, I'm not sure how to say his name. AUBUCHON? She had some questions for us, and she basically put them on when she called in and sent them and then filled out the form. We kind of took care of it because it just made sense. What she was asking was that when we're reading the totals of the bills, it's just totals, and you're not necessarily seeing what all of that is. And so we have put those online now so that you can see those. And it makes it pretty transparent of what we're paying for, and everybody can see everything there. So that was basically what she was asking. Out of that, she couldn't make it this evening, so I thought I'd cover that a little bit of what she had wanted to say. I think she may have wanted some other things, but that was basically what she had on her sheet. So anyway, there. So all right, and then number 2 is the lot split request for Buddy Roberts.
Buddy came to us. He's got some property he's selling. He wants to do a lot split on it, which we do periodically as long as they stay in under the lot size. So if you'll look at the plat, he's got the layout. All the work's been done at engineers, and just needs your approval.
That 3.24 acres is what we're going to split.
Yes.
That's the new part, right?
I didn't hear you.
The 3.24 acres.
That's the one that's sold.
Yes, you're splitting it off.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's splitting from the property further down the hill from it.
Yeah. And that leaves a total of how many acres?
Too many.
Too many. But more than two.
Yes.
Okay.
I move that we approve breaking out of this 3.2 acres into that lot.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
8 o'clock?
7:30.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, number 3, I think we just need to skip it.
Go ahead. Girls, you can go home.
Number 3, Assistant Police Chief, SRO, Steve Huggins, is retiring. And it breaks my heart.
He's not old enough. He's not old enough.
Very
Stop
sad.
My 2 kids here, and those ones, I didn't want to do this, choking up already. You guys have my letter. It's to each one of you, honorably, respectfully. But my last day of employment is going to be June 10th with the city. I'm going to retire and find some part-time work and start doing some things I enjoy a lot more than this job anymore.
Would you like to tell everybody how many years?
31, over 31 years with the city, proudly. I've spent my entire career with the city of Forsyth. I've never been in another agency, and I'm very proud of that. There are a few people I do publicly want to thank because they were instrumental in me even getting started. And that was a close friend of mine and a former co-worker, Bill Daggett. Bill encouraged me to apply with the city years ago, and it was a iffy thing, but I went ahead and did it and got the job, and here we are now. So I want to thank Bill. I also want to thank my former chief and first chief, Mike Womack, for giving a kid with no experience whatsoever in law enforcement the opportunity to start a career that I've ended up loving more than anything in the world. So the people I want to thank, and I'm cracking up, I didn't want to do this, Mr. Jack Baker and our former superintendent Tom Darnell. Years ago, Mike pitched the idea when Jack was school board president to Jack and Tom about a school resource officer, and we're talking 26 years ago. They bought into it. And at that time, the Safe Schools Act was coming out, so it kind of coincided. It was a good thing. And for a lot of years, that I know of, I was the only SRO in the area. You know, Branson didn't have any, Hollister didn't have any. So I want to thank those two for getting me started and putting me in a place that I really felt like I belonged. And I've just enjoyed so much. I'm extremely grateful to you all that I've mentioned, but it would be pretty bad of me to not mention everybody who's been involved in my life and career the last 31 years. Chief Forrest come in and we work together, and I'm gonna miss it, but it's time. So I just want to thank everybody so much, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I worked with her at the school for 20 years, so I knew how unfortunately became mayor. And I
My
love you.
brother from another mother.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Larry. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
The school appreciated all you did, and the city appreciates all you did.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We'll miss you.
Thank you so much. Bill, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Angela, thank you. I'll miss y'all.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
You should move.
Huh?
Yeah, I could probably fit it.
I didn't want to do that.
I make a motion, we accept his retirement.
Any sadness, I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Should have voted nay.
Don't let him retire. Yeah. All right, number 4 on there is second and final reading of bill number 541, water and sewer rate increase. This is a yearly increase that we tried to do is small instead of large increases.
I move that we approve the rate increase as published. Oh, a second reading. Keep me straight. I move the second reading of the proposed rate increase.
Title only.
Title only.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Cheryl?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, by title only, bill number 541, Board of Aldermen, City of Forsyth, Missouri, an ordinance establishing potable drinking water and sanitary sewer fees and establishing deposits for utility services.
I move that we approve the second reading of bill number 541 and enact.
Second.
All in favor, Cheryl?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Jack?
And for clarity for the public, there's been talk on Facebook about how often we give rate increases.
Once a year.
We do it once a year, and we've done it consistently that way.
To do small ones versus do a large one. It's,
I think years past, we let it go.
They had,
For 5 or 6
yeah.
years, and then we had to do a
A
big
large
rate
one.
increase. And if we do a nickel a year,
So we're
then it's
looking
easier.
at 20 cents on 2,000 gallons and 30 cents on 3,000 gallons being the water and the sewer combined. So it's a very minimal, which I think is very good.
and it's just easier than a large rate increase for people.
Well, it's easier for
Yeah.
individuals and businesses alone.
Businesses, definitely.
So,
And by state statute, the city cannot lose money.
Yeah.
They can break even, or they can make money. If they ever get to the point where they're losing money on the utilities, that's breaking the state statute. That's also another reason to do it.
Thank you for that. All right, number 5, first reading of bill number 542, metal detecting SHADOWROCK Park. This was discussion of last month of whether to even propose this.
I make a
So,
motion for the first reading of bill number 542 on metal detecting by title only.
I second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Bill number 542, Board of Aldermen, City of Forsyth, Missouri, ordinance amending section 225.060 of the city code. That's it.
A motion to approve the first reading of bill number 542 by title only.
Second.
All in favor, Cheryl?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Jack? Okay. Approve the fire department support team members, 2 junior firefighters, Nathan, what you got? Derek?
So I have two support team members as well as a junior firefighter I'd like to get approval for tonight. I've got 2 of them here tonight. So I have Miss Deanna Dutris to the left and Jocelyn Easterly to my right. Her dad just got put on this last couple months ago. So they're wanting to follow the family tradition, and get the whole family involved. So I'd like the commission to get them approved
I love
tonight.
that.
And that's very nice, that the family works together on
Yep.
that. And you do want to, the other lady was not able to be here.
Heather Easterly, she wasn't able to make it tonight.
Her application looks very nice.
Yeah.
And I would move that we go ahead and approve these 3 applicants.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You'll be his boss someday.
Maybe. Probably is already.
All right. Approve, number 7, approve the MOU agreement with Rockaway Beach and Miriam Woods for outdoor storm siren activation.
Yeah, so both of these are MOU agreements to be able to follow our current policy on outdoor storm siren. Currently, we already had an agreement with Miriam Woods. and it hasn't been updated for years as well, so figured we'd kind of do both of them and get them updated. Rockaway is a new MOU agreement. They bought a used outdoor storm siren, and they've requested to be able to use our programming and frequency and stuff to be able, as well as for us to activate their storm sirens. I think in the cooperation agreement, I think it's fine as long as they're following our procedures on activation and stuff. I did have a conversation with County Emergency Manager Chris Byrne. He agrees as well as at least as long as they're following the same policy, that way you don't have multiple sirens being activated different ways and stuff. So I don't see any issue. I don't know, Bill, if you had any questions concerning the agreement or anything.
No.
It looks pretty straightforward on both of them.
Will that be activated by you?
Correct, yeah. Our current policy as far as activating us as well as our backup for TCAD or not TCAD, the County Dispatch, the Sheriff's Office, we have activation programs in there as well. As far as on cost on our end, it's just updating some programming to add the frequencies in that they're programming in, which isn't, and their current programmer has agreed to work with that, and combination of us already doing some programming work, so it's very minimal cost.
So will it be the same when the tornado warning goes off? Will it be for the whole area?
Currently, yes, Merriam Woods, Rockaway Beach, and us, as long as it's in the triangle. So National Weather Service, they've changed the way as far as when they activate, because it's not just tornadic weather, it's 70 miles winds or greater can be activated based on our policy as well. But if it's in the triangle as far as the path of the storm, then we would activate it at the same time. For some odd reason, if it looks like it's going to be north and it's not going to hit the city, then we may end up just activating Merriam Woods or Rockaway based on that. So,
Nathan, how soon would these agreements start?
Merriam Woods would be fairly quickly. Rockaway Beach, I think they were looking within the next month or so to finish their programming and stuff. You're just waiting to get back approval from you guys to be able to finish adding the programming if that was the direction we were going to go. So.
And would we include them into our notification system then?
We could. Merriam Woods already has the same system in place. I don't know about Rockaway Beach. It could be easily added to, some of their supervisors or groups if they would like, as long as it, doesn't go over our threshold.
I love those notifications. I mean, that.
They're very, very helpful.
Yeah, they are.
There's a few of them can be, and a lot of them are being issued by Weather Service multiple times, so.
Yeah, I saw, the flood advisory, I think, came through a couple times, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you miss it the first time, you
Yeah.
catch it on the second
Yeah,
one.
absolutely.
Well, I would move that we go ahead and approve the MOU agreement for both Rockaway Beach and Miriam Woods.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
All right, and then we've got tanker engine approval to purchase pending finding one.
So I'll try to explain that a little. So it was put in the budget for about $130,000 for that equipment. Been trying to find one, and it seems like every time I find one, within a week it's being sold. Trucks
And the way
is-
cars and everything
Yeah,
are
just
right
like
now.
everything else. What I would like to ask is to be able to have a capital item approved tonight to be able, so when we find one, we can act on it fairly fast.
And as long as you're staying within your budgeted
Correct.
amount.
Well, I think that if we would authorize him to go up to $110,000 for the tanker and delivery, if there's a delivery cost, and that should be adequate to, do you think that would work?
To purchase the truck, yeah, and the remaining funds would be used to be able to put the truck in service, radio.
Okay.
And that way, there is a cap, which I think is generous, and then we won't miss out.
Right.
And I would make a motion to do that.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah, I can't hardly, right now, if you try to buy a car, it's about sold out from underneath you, so, yep.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 9, approve the purchase block time from CELIPSO Consulting for computer support, $1,700.
This is our IT provider, 20-hour block of time. We do this about every 15 to 18 months, so that we have this support when we need it.
Does
Right.
the rate stay the same?
$85 an hour.
I make a
And they've
motion
been
to-
at that rate for quite a while.
And it's a reasonable rate.
I would make a motion we approve the purchase of block time from Calypso.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, the minutes of February 14th, 2022.
We need the approval of the minutes of the meeting of February 14th, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, number 11, this is what the topic of number 1 was, bills for approval.
A motion to approve the bills, February the 17th, 2022, $4,095.89, and that included some repair and maintenance on water and sewers. And then February the 24th, 2022, $20,788.15. And that includes health insurance, dental insurance, and some sewer equipment, and then some snow removal materials. And then March the 3rd, 2022, $45,645.93. That includes some snow removal equipment, and includes the retirement that we pay for the employees, and some software that we needed to update. And then March the 10th, 2022, $33,800.86. And included in that was our electric bill from Liberty Utilities, which was $18,320.54. And also fuel for the city's vehicles, $3,357.79. And many years ago, we enacted a fuel card for each department, so we have a way of tracking that, so we know who's using what fuel. And then March the 17th, $3,521.50.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Cheryl, for breaking some of that down.
Happy to do
All
so.
right. Financial statements as of February 28th, 2022.
You've got your comparative of your cash balances on your first page. Go back to page 4, it starts our revenue and expense report. We would expect to be 50% collected or spent at this time of year. Right now, we are 2/3 collected and only about 35% spent. So we are conservatively spending while our revenues are coming in. And this does include the budget amendment that you all passed last year, so all of your budget section is accurate.
Motion to approve financial statement for 2/28/22.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right, and then approval of transfers from February 17th, 2022 through March 17th, 2022.
Motion to approve the transfers as stated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, and then confirm the monthly audit reporting sheet was received and reviewed.
I so move.
Second.
Cheryl?
Aye.
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Mary? And Jack? All right. Well, that pretty much completes our meeting today. And we may be stuck in here, so it sounds like. All
I
right.
have one thing that I would like to bring up. The city owns the former water tower out on Hickory Street north of town, which I understand the water tower is not being used. The well has not been capped, but we can still access the well. We do not need the tower to do that. And I feel that we probably ought to look at doing something to get rid of that. Visiting with Bill, he felt we needed to put this out for bid. Obviously, we can't do that without being on the agenda, or maybe we can do it without, but I think we have to have it on the agenda.
No, I think we need to put it on the agenda.
And I would like to see it on the agenda for next month.
If that's a liability to us, that's.
It is a
It's in poor shape too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also too small for anything.
It's out on Hickory Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just hope we don't have extremely strong winds
Yeah.
before that happens.
I hope so too, like tonight.
We approached this subject several years ago and several different times. Putting it out there, what the city is requiring is $1 million insurance policy to take care of any damage that might do to neighboring properties taking it down. And today haven't had anybody that seen the benefit versus the cost fit them. So
That's
I don't
right.
like it associated with our water system. It's in no way hooked to our water system.
Yeah.
The reason we haven't capped the well is the well is still a viable well. It could be used in case of emergency down the road. So, yeah, we can put it out for bid again. The price of salvages went up. Maybe somebody will be glad to take it down for just the salvage.
We might contact city utilities and see
Okay.
who's taking down.
And then maybe after of course, we can put this on the agenda for next time. I'd like to see this added, that once that tower is gone, that we do necessary repairs to the well house, paint, or whatever needs to be done with that.
Well, we can put all that in for discussion for next time. Okay?
We need to
And
make
I
that
did-
property a lot more attractive than it is now.
Yes.
And I did see this. This is awesome. This is something we made a decision to do for that scenic overlook.
Yeah.
And I like this, so.
We're currently working with the sign company to come up with this sign and replace those signs that
Okay.
are currently there. We'd like to have the area sealed. We're going to put permanent trash receptacle there, have the city maintain it daily. And then we're building a kiosk, a stone kiosk, the city crew is, and we're going to have a big rock on top of it with, you know, kind of Charlie's Life on the rock covered in plexiglass thing to keep
That's
people
gonna be-
vandalizing it.
It's gonna be a big rock for Charlie's Life. I just gotta say, it's
They're
gonna be
gonna
a
make
big
it big
rock.
enough rock. We're gonna try to condense it, but
Yeah.
there's
That's-
several pictures of him with George W. Bush and different places. You've been over the years, Johnny Morris, and things we like to incorporate into the sign, but we just have so much area. But we're working on that, and once we get it complete, we'd like to invite Charlie's wife, Wanda, and his two daughters, and have you guys down there and kind of.
If we had more parking, it'd be nice to make it a public event.
It would
but
be.
We can't do that.
That's
No,
good.
but I have noticed a
The
lot of
traffic
people,
hazard.
and since you guys have been keeping that so nice and cleaned up down in there and stuff, I've noticed a lot of people using it, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what it was for, so.
Yeah.
Got a call today asking when the population signs of Forsyth will be revised.
That is a MoDOT question.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a MoDOT
Yeah.
question?
They take care of all
They
signage
do
on
all of
160
that.
on state highways.
Population,
Everything.
everything?
Crane once went 20 years being 954. Never did get changed.
Wow.
Yeah, we just seem to get less and less cooperation. But
Yeah.
So that's a MoDOT question.
it's a MoDOT question, and we're not allowed to touch the signs on MoDOT right away.
Yeah.
Maintain them or add to them. We even have to have a permit to work inside
Or
our city.
put signs up on it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll
You're
pass that along to the person who asked.
Okay.
All right.
I move that we adjourn.
Okay. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everybody for coming.